In this video, we're talking about the power of noticing.
Hey, Sua!
Three things for this series. Number one.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Increase Your Impact YouTube channel. I am Justin Sua. Thanks for joining us. For those of you who have been watching or you've heard my voice, you can tell I'm a little bit hoarse. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I've been talking too much. I don't know if it's because I have been, if my thin skin can't handle the sub 70 degree Florida weather. I don't know what it is, but hopefully you can stick with me. The show must go on. And in this episode, we're talking about 6 things. Yes, I had to double check that. 6 things that you need to do in order to optimize your performance. Now, before we get into that, please hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell. And please share this YouTube channel with others who you think might benefit from it. We try to keep them short, to the point, and actionable. What we're gonna talk about today is the power of noticing, and you can't change what you're not aware of. I'll repeat, you cannot change what you're not aware of. And a lot of times, just noticing where you're getting distracted, noticing the things you need to do, putting a light on it, that will help you be able to change it. So we're gonna go over the 6 things that you need to change, you need to notice rather, in order to optimize your performance in whatever you do. Number 1, notice when you're getting distracted. Notice when you're getting distracted. We've experienced this before. You're driving down the highway and you start to get a little drowsy, start to get a little tired or distracted, and you start to turn to the right or to the left. And when you do so on a highway that is going for miles and miles, you'll run over something called rumble strips, where you'll feel your car vibrate. You'll start to feel that. Now, the reason that is there, the reason the rumble strip is there is for just that, to help re-alert or help alert distracted or drowsy or sleepy drivers, to help them get back into the lane and to focus on driving. What I mean by being aware of when you're distracted is creating these mental rumble strips for yourself. Paying attention to when you're getting distracted. Paying attention to when you're getting off track. Paying attention to those moments and those things and those people that distract you from keeping the main thing the main thing. And so I want to ask you, what are your distractors? It might be, again, it might be certain people you're around. And I'm not saying that these people, you need to throw them out of your life. I'm not saying stay away from them. No, these might be some of your best friends. This might be your family member. You might be married or in a relationship to this person. And all it means is pay attention to your focus. Pay attention to where your focus is spilling out, or when it's leaking, when you need to be focused on something else. Pay attention. It might be your environment. Maybe being in a room with the TV on is distracting. Maybe having your cell phone around with your favorite apps with easy access is not ideal. You want to be able to pay attention and notice your environment, the people, the times in your day. There might be certain days where you shouldn't do work, certain time of the day you shouldn't be doing work. Maybe it's after 5 o'clock and your mind is as mush. That's the moment you should be answering emails, or that's the moment, that's the time frame where you shouldn't be doing a lot of mental heavy lifting because you're just exhausted. Maybe you do all of your complex decision making and problem solving in the beginning of your day, or maybe it's reversed. All I'm saying is to identify and notice when you get distracted. Number 2, notice how stress affects you. Stress affects all of us differently. Now, you don't want to say stress doesn't affect me. I eat stress for breakfast. No, first of all, be humble. Stress affects all of us, whether it be positively or negatively. Now, I will say this, a little caveat. Stress isn't inherently bad. There's eustress. Stress is good until it's bad. There's something called the Yerkes-Dodson law, which means that stress, the arousal of stress could help you with thinking. It can help you optimize performance. It can help you perform at a high level. However, once it goes past that ideal level of stress, then all of a sudden it tightens your muscles. Your breathing starts to change. You start to get nervous. You start worrying about what other people think about you. So you want to find your ideal level of stress. Now, I'm talking about the bad stress. Do you get irritable? Do you get more frustrated? Do you start yelling at people? Do you get less patient? pay attention to how stress affects you. Pay attention to the people or the situations that stress you out. And just notice it. And then start to ask yourself questions. Why? Why does that stress you out? You might not need a stress reduction tactic. Maybe you just need some perspective. Maybe you look at this thing that is stressing you out, and if you change the way you look at that thing, that stress goes down. Maybe a belief you had about a certain thing, you don't have that belief anymore, and as a result, you're a lot less stressed. I'll give you an example. There may be an athlete out there who gets really stressed out with people when mom and dad is watching them. They get incredibly stressed. But if that athlete, that young athlete views, oh, mom and dad loves me. They care about me regardless of how I do. They just enjoy watching me play. Well, that's gonna reduce your stress or that athlete's stress significantly. They didn't need a technique, they just needed to reframe their stressors. The only way you can reframe your stress is if you look at it under a microscope, identify, and notice how you respond to stress. The third thing to notice is when your actions don't align with your purpose. Now, before we can even do that, you need to identify what is your purpose. And I'm not just talking about capital P purpose, I'm talking about what's your purpose for this exercise? What's your purpose for sending this email? What's your purpose for today or this drill or this routine? Establishing a why behind what you do is very important. And then you want to notice, do your actions align with that purpose? Yes or no? If they do, great. If they don't, why not? Do you need to change that behavior? Do you need to adjust the behavior in some way? Do you need to eliminate? Do you need to add another behavior to it? Pay attention. When you notice that your actions are not in alignment with your purpose, then you can also know that you're wasting energy. You're wasting time. You're not as efficient. Alignment is key for these types of things. When your actions are in alignment with your purpose, that's when you're going to be running on all cylinders. The fourth thing you need to pay attention to and notice are your thoughts. Your thoughts impact your emotions. Your emotions impact your physiology, your body, and your body impacts your performance. It all starts with what you're thinking. What are your thoughts? What are you saying to yourself? What's stressing you out? What reoccurring negative thoughts are you beating up on yourself? Are you using against yourself? What doubt do you have? What common questions do you have? Notice the dialogue that you have with yourself. Once again, you can't change what you're not aware of. And you might be able to see that just noticing, shining a light on your thoughts will help you realize that you're self-sabotaging yourself. You are your own worst critic. You are your own worst enemy because you're getting in the way of yourself invisibly because you're not even paying attention to that internal dialogue that's running under the hood or under the radar. Take some time to pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. Notice when you're most self-compassionate. Notice when you're your greatest self-critic. Notice what the things that you're not only saying to yourself, but what are you not saying to yourself? And then once you establish that, collect some data, then you can make a plan. Identify what you need to stop saying. Identify what you need to start saying to yourself. Identify people who shape your thoughts. What kind of music do you listen to? What videos do you watch? What books are you reading? What impact and influence are they having on your thoughts about success, about failure, about effort? That has a huge influence on who you are and what you do. The fifth thing to notice is your breath. I want you to notice your breath right now. Pay attention to it, and I want you right now to take one inhale and one deep exhale. Pay attention to it. Are you breathing in your chest? Are you doing diaphragmatic breathing from your belly? Can you feel the cool air going through your nostrils? Is your breath rate slow? Is it deep? Are you focused on the inhale? Are you focused on the exhale? I know I'm running through this really quick, but take some time throughout the day to notice your breath. And you'll notice something very interesting happen. When you spend some time to notice your breath, what's going to happen is you're going to slow down. Your thoughts are going to slow down. Your heart rate's going to slow down. And it's going to help you be right here, right now. And finally, number 6, notice when other people are in need. You don't want to suffer from the center of the universe syndrome, which is simply you think you are the center of the universe. We are here on this earth with so many other people who are the heroes of their own story. Now, if you want to be the best leader, the best teacher, the best friend, the best teammate possible, take the time to notice others around you. What are they going through? What are they experiencing? What are their joys? Celebrate their successes. Know someone who's down. Notice their behaviors. Notice if they're a little bit off. If you haven't spoken to someone in a long time, text them, reach out to them, see how they're doing. It's amazing the benefit of a simple text, a simple gesture, a kind smile, a kind, sincere, how are you doing? That goes a long way. That serves incredibly well to your relationship, and it builds the strength of the bond between you and the other person. But you can't do that if you don't notice, if you don't step outside your own box and your own insecurities and your own struggles and look around. That's when you'll be able to notice those in need and those who can really use your values and your strengths. So there you have it. 6 things to notice to help yourself be the best version of yourself. Let me know which one of these 6 do you think is going to be most benefit to you? Which one of these 6, or is there another thing that is helpful for you to notice? Please share with us in the comment section so we could all learn from you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me through my hoarse voice, and we'll do it again next week.